Everyone is busy discussing one deal, India-US trade deal. TV debates, newspaper, YouTube thumbnails, social media wars, everything is about America. But what if I tell you India is quietly negotiating a deal that could be even more powerful than US agreement? A deal that could decide whether India becomes a global manufacturing giant or remains dependent forever. This is not just a trade agreement. This is a resource war strategy. And the country involved? Chile. Yes, Chile. A nation most Indians barely talk about. But in coming decade, Chile might decide the future of India's electric vehicles, smartphones, renewable energy and even defense manufacturing. Welcome to this video because today we are going to decode what could be the real mother of all deals. When people hear free trade agreement, they think it's about exports, imports, cheaper products and business profit. But this is about something far bigger. It's about critical minerals, the most powerful weapon in modern geopolitics. And in today's world, the countries that control critical minerals control global power. And Chile is sitting on treasure chest, a treasure chest that India desperately needs. Let's simplify it. In the 20th century, oil decided world power. In the 21st century, lithium, copper, cobalt and rare minerals decide world power. Because without these minerals, you cannot manufacture electric vehicle batteries, solar panels, wind turbines, mobile phones, advanced semiconductors, defense grade electronics, power storage systems. Meaning, if India wants to become the next China in manufacturing, then India needs guaranteed access to these minerals. Not for 1 year, not for 2 years, but for the next 20-30 years. And that's where Chile enters like a game changer. Chile is not a large country. Its population is tiny compared to India, but its importance is massive because Chile is one of the richest countries in the world when it comes to mineral reserves. Chile has huge deposits of lithium, the backbone of EV batteries, copper, the backbone of electric wiring, electronics, renewable energy. And also it has cobalt and other rare minerals needed for high-end manufacturing. And here is the real geopolitical truth. Countries are now treating these minerals like nuclear assets. They are not selling freely anymore. They are using them as a leverage, meaning whoever controls lithium controls the EV revolution. And whoever controls copper controls the entire renewable energy transition. Now let's talk about India. India is dreaming big. Make in India, Atmanirbhar Bharat, EV revolution, green energy targets, semiconductor mission, battery manufacturing, gigafactories. But there is one uncomfortable reality. India does not have enough domestic reserves of critical minerals. So what happens? India becomes dependent on global supply chains. And global supply chains are not stable anymore. Because after COVID, after Russia-Ukraine war and after US-China trade wars, supply chains have become weaponed. Prices can explode overnight, exports can be blocked, and minerals can become political hostage. So, India needs a long-term solution, not a temporary purchases, a proper strategic partnership, and Chile offers exactly that. Now, here is something very important. India and Chile are not starting from zero. Back in 2006, India and Chile signed a preferential trade agreement, also known as a PTA, meaning India has foundation with Chile. This is not a random friendship being built today. This relationship is already active for almost 2 decades. But now, India wants to upgrade it from a limited trade agreement to much bigger and deeper partnership. What is being discussed right now is not a small agreement. It is expected to become a comprehensive economic partnership agreement. Meaning, this is not only about trade. It may include goods and service trade, digital trade and technology cooperation, investment protection, MSME cooperation, supply chain integration, and most importantly, critical mineral security. So, this is not a buy and sell relationship. This is a long-term strategic alliance. And the timing is perfect because India is racing against time. If India delays, other powers will dominate these resources first. Now let's look at the current trade reality. India's trade relationship with Chile is still not very large compared to India-US or India-China, but it is growing. In 2024-25, India exported around $15 billion worth of goods to Chile. But imports from Chile, that jumped massively. Imports surged to around $2.6 billion, showing a sharp rise. So India is already importing more from Chile than exporting. And why is that? Because Chile supplies raw materials, minerals, metals, inputs, and India supplies finished products. This imbalance is not necessarily bad. In fact, it reveals one thing clearly. Chile is already becoming a crucial supplier, but now India wants to take it to the next level. Not just importing raw minerals, but ensuring long-term supply and building value chains. Here comes the real headline. Just recently, Coal India Limited approved setting up a company in Chile. Yes, Coal India. The same company, known for coal mining, is now stepping into critical minerals, and not as a small partner. Coal India plans to hold 100% equity in the Chile-based entity, meaning India is not just trading. India is planning to directly enter Chile's mineral ecosystem. This is a huge signal. This is basically India saying, we are not here for short-term imports. We are here for long-term control and partnership. And it's not only the government sector. India's private giants have already started entering. For example, Chile's state-owned copper company, Codelco, signed an agreement with India's Adani Group. The plan? To explore multiple copper projects and possibly develop them jointly, meaning India is already planting flags inside Chile's mining landscape. And copper is not a small mineral. Copper is the nervous system of modern infrastructure. No copper, then no EV charging networks. No copper, no solar grid expansion. No copper, no advanced electronics. So, India is clearly preparing for the future. Now, here is why this deal could shake the world. Because critical minerals are becoming the new geopolitical battlefield. China has already built dominance over lithium processing and rare earth supply chains. The US is trying to reduce dependence on China. Europe is racing to secure mineral access, and countries like Australia, Chile, and Argentina are suddenly becoming global hotspots. Now imagine this scenario. If India secures a long-term mineral partnership with Chile, India's battery manufacturing can scale faster, India's EV sector becomes cheaper and more competitive, India's renewable energy mission becomes realistic, India's electronics manufacturing gets stronger, and India becomes less dependent on unstable suppliers. This is not just a trade deal, this is an economic weapon, a shield, and an opportunity. People underestimate Chile because it's far away. South America seems irrelevant to Indian politics, but geopolitics doesn't care about distance. It cares about resources, and Chile is one of the world's biggest resource vaults. If India wants to compete with China in manufacturing, then India needs secure mineral corridors. And Chile is one of the best corridors India can build. Because Chile is politically stable, globally connected, and already trade friendly. That's why this deal matters. And the most exciting part, the deal seems very close. India's Commerce Minister has hinted that negotiations are nearing completion, which means this could be finalized sooner than people expect. And once it happens, India will get a major advantage because India will have a direct access to strategic minerals at a time when the world is facing supply chain warfare. So, while the world is distracted with India-US trade headlines, India is quietly building a partnership that could decide the next 20 years. A partnership that could power India's EV revolution, India's manufacturing dream, India's renewable energy mission, India's electronics and semiconductor future. And Chile could become India's most underrated strategic partner. Not because Chile is rich, but because Chile is rich in one thing the future needs the most: critical minerals. This is why the India-Chile FTA is not just another trade agreement. It could be India's key to becoming a true industrial superpower, and that is why this might be the real mother of all deals. If you found this analysis valuable, hit like, share and subscribe because YouTube pushes videos only when engagement is high. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Follow for more content.